It's Friday night, and it's our weekly discussion talking about strategies to turn back the clock on aging. Just before we go on, you know, I talk about aging in reverse and stopping the aging process, and I'm finding out people don't get it because they don't think it's possible. So, it actually is. There's a lot of research now, a lot of medical research all over the place that's showing that we can stop the aging process. And that's what we're going to do in our women's group that's coming up soon. And what I'm doing every week is talking about strategies we will be using in there. So week one, it was mindset. Then we talked about life purpose. Then nutrition. Last week we talked about fasting, and gosh, there's so many more questions I can answer on that. Today we're talking about movement. You could call it exercise. I call it movement because when I hear the word exercise, there's some part of me that cringes. It's like, do I have to do that? It just feels like something that I have to do, not that I love to do or can't wait to do. So I call it movement. And it's been proven over and over and over that it will delay anyway or set back or turn back the process of aging. When I talk about aging, what I really mean is not getting older. Hey, we're all getting older, right? But it's what I mean is that deterioration, like health deterioration as we get older. That's what I mean by aging. Going downhill, which of course, I don't believe in. So let's see, we have one more week. Next week, we're going to talk about stress. Again, it's no surprise that movement is good for us, and it should be no surprise that it slows down the aging process. There are so many studies out there. I'm just going to quote the results of one of them. For example, 150 minutes of exercise or more each week increased life expectancy by 7 years over those who didn't do exercise. And this benefit was seen regardless of weight, age, sex, and even health conditions. What that means is no matter where you're at, if you start moving, you can slow down or stop the deterioration process. So we're going to kind of have a mishmash today. I asked some questions. Where are my answers here? Anyway, I can't find them now. So we'll change the subject. Let's talk about the benefits of exercise that can it results in physiologic changes that can slow the aging process. It's anti-inflammatory. It boosts your mood. It improves your sleep. It improves cognitive function and can reduce memory loss. It improves the immune system. It improves digestion function. All of these things are connected to aging. Okay, so here's my list here. I asked some people what their favorite form of movement or exercise is. And some of the things that I got was dancing, walking, tai chi, swimming, water aerobics, skating, Pilates. The thing that got the most points was swimming or water exercise. Boy, that's my number one. It's fun and it doesn't hurt. You don't know you're exercising. But anyway, what I didn't get from anybody that I queried was going to the gym or working on the treadmill. I mean, the things that we think of that sometimes they'll tell us, well, we need to get so many minutes of aerobic exercise or whatever. So, or go, and yeah, weight training and aerobics is all good. But that's not what people are loving. And the truth is, when I work with someone on a movement program, it has to be something that you love. I don't think we should do anything that's not self-loving or self-expressing. So right now, I'm just telling you to find something that you love, moving your body. I tell you, besides swimming every day, the other thing I do is whenever I'm in the kitchen, I ask Alexa to play dance music. And the whole time I'm in the kitchen, I've got dance music going on. I don't dance, I bounce, I walk, I move my body, and it feels good. And I'm sure if I check my Fitbit, it's going to say, oh, look at all these extra steps you did. Another thing that I want to share that's a real keystone of my practice over the years, because the two things that I've worked on for 45 years that have been known, absolutely proven to reduce aging and induce longevity. One is fasting. The other one is Neigong, which is a Taoist Chinese form of exercise. Part of the Neigong is the Tai Chi. So you see videos in China, you'll see people in the park. When I lived in Chinatown in New York City, I was pretty near a park, and it was filled with people every morning doing their exercise. I also teach Qigong, which is part of Neigong, which is really the internal martial art that's done for health and longevity as opposed to fighting. All that energy that would be used, like you see the martial arts doing all these miraculous things like breaking bricks and, leaping up into tall trees. All of that energy is used internally to heal the cells. So it's a form of exercise that circulates energy throughout the whole body. It opens up the body for circulation. So if, what the Chinese called qi, you could call it energy, just circulation of life force, however you want to think about it. But if there is qi in a cell, it is healthy. So and again, lots of things can do that. Bringing oxygen into a cell, cleaning the body out of waste can heal the cell. So there are a lot of ways to regenerate your cells so that as you get older, you're not deteriorating. That's all I'm going to talk about today on exercise, because I like short videos. This is already too long. So I do want to remind you that I have a women's group starting soon, probably the beginning of October now, for women over 40 who want to stop the aging process. We're going to be using a lot of these things I've talked about. We're going to implement strategies, and we're there to support one another, because I know if I'm held accountable, or if I have someone who knows that I'm doing my exercise program or a certain diet or whatever I'm doing, it just feels better when I get support. We aren't meant to do things by ourselves. So if you're interested in that, please send me a DM or say something in the chat. And I welcome, if you're watching this, because I don't see any comments, which means you're not commenting or you're not here. So if you watch this later, put your comments in the chat. Tell me what kind of movement you like, what you'd like help with, and if you're interested in the group or any kind of information from me, I'm happy to do a free consult with you. Meanwhile, have a fabulous weekend.